Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Todd. Todd is from Wisconsin in the USA. So let's see what Todd has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello Todd, I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Amazing. Thanks for taking the time to do the interview with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking.
Nice to meet you. Very nice. Before we start the game, Todd, just tell me where are you from?
I live in a place called Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Right. And tell me, what do you do for a living?
I work in radio, TV, and film.
Wow. And what's, in your opinion, what's the most interesting thing about your job?
I think the most interesting thing probably is just being able to talk to people and find out their stories. I mean, something like you do where you get to speak to multiple people and really kind of dig in and figure out what makes them tick. I think if we all kind of did that on a smaller basis every day and really cared about people's stories, I think we'd be a little bit more compassionate to what they're dealing with.
Amazing. And tell me a little bit about your radio show.
Well, I do several radio shows every day. I actually do 7 radio shows a day. All 6 of them are here in the United States. I do one in the UK. I'm on a station in Worcestershire, actually. And they're all different formats. And then I also do several podcasts during the week as well. Most of those are based on paranormal, ghosts, entities, UFOs, all that kind of stuff.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And then I'm on a TV show on Amazon Prime called Haunted State, and it's based here in Wisconsin. And we went out and we took an entire year and investigated local haunted locations, and we tell the story behind the location and what we find and we investigate.
But this is on TV now, or?
Yeah, that's on Amazon Prime Video. Yep.
Right. What's the name again?
It's called Haunted State.
Haunted State.
Yep.
Cool. Right. Okay, Todd. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here this lovely box full of random fun questions, okay?
Okay.
So just gonna play some music now, just for us to get a bit in the mood before the first question.
Do I have to watch you dance? Is that what happens here?
I'd like to dance as well.
Oh, I don't think anybody wants to see that. All right.
Right, I'm gonna play the music now. I hope you like it. Right, Todd, ready for the first question?
All right.
Let's do it. The first question is, it's gonna be an easy one.
Oh,
do you
good.
consider yourself a spiritual person, and how?
Absolutely. I don't know that I necessarily believe in traditional religion, but I do believe that there is higher energy, higher power. And I think that in some way, shape, or form, we're all connected somehow in our spirits and our energy. So definitely a spiritual person. And obviously, because I do believe in paranormal, I believe that even once our bodies pass on and we're no longer using these fleshy skins that we live in, our energy sticks around and affects people for years to come.
You always be involved in the paranormal spirituality?
Well, for me, when I was growing up, nobody believed in ghosts. You were told as a kid, oh, there's no such thing as ghosts, so you don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. And I think that when you have your first experience, you're kind of like, what was that? And a lot of things can be a lot of other things, meaning if you hear a bump in the night, it could be many, many, many things. But when you go through that list of what it could be, and none of those are that, then you have to start asking yourself, what else could it be? So I've been involved with it and very interested in it for at least 20 years.
Okay, interesting. Next question.
All right.
Right, so let's get another question for you. Next question is, what was your best friend name growing up? And why did you consider this person as your best friend at the time?
Well, I've had so many best friends in my life. Growing up when I was very, very little, I had a neighbor friend whose name was Todd. And so he was my best friend because he was my neighbor and his name was Todd. So we hung out all the time. When he moved away, then Brian became a best friend, whatever. Once I got out of high school and I got a little bit older, I think your sometimes your circle of friends changes and you have different things that you need out of your best friends. And so now I've got a group of friends I kind of consider my inner circle, and they're very important in my life.
Are you still in touch with this growing up friend called Todd?
No, I have no idea what happened to him. I hope he's still alive and doing well, but that was so darn long ago. Who knows anymore?
Next question for you. Do it. Right, just before the next question, just what would be your best piece of advice for someone who is starting out as a podcast entertainer like me? What would be your best piece of advice?
Well, I think, and you've realized this too, it's a lot of hard work. People who want to do it as a hobby, that's all well and good. But if you want to gain viewership or listenership and you want to grow your brand, I mean, this could be a full-time plus job if you really wanted it to be. So be in it for the long haul, be ready to roll and go with it, meaning that if something works, go with it. Even if it wasn't part of your original plan, go down that road. And if you find things that no longer really necessarily work for you, you can roll away from those as well and go in another direction. So be ready to have a plan in place of what you want to accomplish and be ready for that plan to change as it goes along, just like life.
Okay, good one. Next question for you is, who would you swap lives for a day if you could?
All right. I wish you'd give these questions ahead of time. Let me think. I just don't know that I would. And here's the reason why I would say that. Because I'm somewhat of an empath too, so I feel people's energies and all that kind of stuff. And no one has it better than me. Nobody has it better than you. We all have our baggage. We all have the positive things in life. We all have our history. So even if you stepped out of what you've got going on in your life and you stepped into somebody else's existence, you would end up pretty much, I think, kind of in the same situation for a day. So I'm not sure I'd want to do that. And plus, if it was somebody that I really liked and I really had admiration for, I may end up not liking them afterward because you get to see what they're really like deep inside and what their life is really like. Maybe the facade of who they are is even better than who they actually are.
Great answer. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You're getting there. Slowly showing off your moves.
Nobody wants to see these. All right, what's the question?
Next question is, what does family mean to you?
For me, it's very, very important. I lost my mom a couple of years ago because of cancer, and my dad right now is going through dementia and is in a home and is at the end of his life as well. So you cling on to those things. And I was lucky because I had a great family life growing up. You know, it wasn't perfect. Nobody's family life is. But mom and dad were always there. They worked really hard. They tried to make a good life for myself and my sisters. So there's so many families now that are broken. They're different. They're half families, step brothers, step sisters, halves, and all that kind of stuff. And it really sometimes I think makes family life a little tricky to maneuver, to be honest with you. So family to me is really, really important. And you can have your differences, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that you came into the world together, and hopefully you can go out of the world somehow joined as well.
I totally agree.
Good.
Next question.
All right.
Let's do it. And you say you cannot dance, and just be more dance.
No, well, that's not dancing. That's something else.
Right, so just before the next question, could you share like a funny story that's happened to you when you're doing like a live podcast show that sticks to your head? Something funny or interesting?
Well, I know that a lot of us, and maybe you are too right now, probably not wearing pants. What I mean by that
am.
Oh, you are? Well, what I do is I do a pants check. So everybody's got to stand up and show me what they're wearing underneath.
I can stand up. I'm not going to take the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got shorts on here, but
I need to stand up as well. I don't believe you.
Well, there's not going to be any proof on that one. But I like to do little fun things like that because a lot of times, especially during COVID, people were doing Zoom meetings and stuff like that from work. So they were business from the waist up, and then underneath, sometimes they didn't even have shorts on. So every once in a while, when we're doing a podcast for fun, I'll just say I've got a sounder that says, pants check, and everybody's got to stand up and show what they're wearing. And sometimes you find out some really interesting things about people.
Okay, I'm still waiting for you to stand up.
It's just not going to happen. They're simple, like athletic shorts. Yeah.
No, I don't take it. I don't take it.
For crying out loud, it's just like this.
Hey. You see?
Yeah.
Put the fire there.
I guess I get back what I give out. All right.
Right. Next question for you is, what is your least favorite chore?
Well, this is a simple one. I hate like washing floors, like scrubbing floors and stuff like that. I don't mind vacuuming. I don't mind dusting. I don't mind doing the dishes, washing the car, whatever it is. Mowing the lawn, all that stuff is fine. I just hate washing floors because you can never quite get them clean enough. So I always have somebody else do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next question for you. What is one thing that you won and how did you win it? Something special.
This is going to be kind of off a little bit because I've never really wanted anything and gotten it as far as like monetary or possession or anything like that. However, I will kind of get woo-woo a little bit and just say that I've been lucky enough to have some very, very close people in my life. It's very difficult for me, obviously, to let my walls down and let people in. I don't even like to dance on podcasts, for instance. But
you do well.
Yeah, right. But I've been really lucky in that I think I've won some great friendships over the years and people who understand me and who are willing to put up with the bullshit that is Todd and look past it and love me anyway. So I guess that would be the thing that if I could wish for anybody, that would be that.
Very good. Are you enjoyed the show so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Except the dancing.
You're doing well. Okay, Todd, just before the next question, as you can see, of course, you enjoy a lot what you do, your passion, but tell me what's the most challenging part of it or something that's, okay, you kind of don't like that much regarding your radio career as a podcaster?
Well, for me, it's because of the medium and because of the way that, for the most part, the industry treats talent. I have to literally do 7 radio shows every day, Monday through Friday, 1 on the weekend. I do 3, 4, 5, or 6 podcasts per week just to make enough money to kind of get by as I'm growing my own stuff. And so it's never ending. The last day I had off from actually working was Christmas Day. So I work every day, sometimes as many as 12 or 13 hours, most days probably closer to 11, weekends at least 4 or 5 hours on the weekends each day. So there's a lot of time and energy put into it. And I think what people forget is what we do is not easy. I mean, you can make it look easy, but there's still energy and thought process and talent that goes into it that by the end of the day, you're completely drained. The last thing you want to do is even talk to a friend because you don't have the energy to actually speak. So I think that that's probably the toughest thing. It's just how hard you have to work to achieve what you want to achieve.
Next question for you is, which season of the year you feel more connected with and why?
That's a tough one because we're really hitting spring in my part of the country here now, rolling into summer a little bit. I love, however, autumn. I love, and unfortunately, it only lasts here in Wisconsin for like a week where it's the trees are turned and the leaves start falling and all that kind of stuff. I like that point where you've had a really, really, really busy summer and now it's time to kind of shut down a little bit and you can relax and you can take in some of the beauty that's around you. So I think fall would be first, spring second, summer, and then winter would be last. I hate the cold, but it is what it is.
Autumn is my favorite season of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Is your birthday around the same time or not? In autumn or
No,
not?
I was born in February, so I was, that's way, way out of that season.
I'm just asking that because somebody told me once that when you're the season you were born, you feel more connected with, and for me it works really well because I was born in November, and November is autumn in Europe, so it's just amazing. I just love the colors and the change of the colors and the whole. It's not very cold yet, but still kind of, you know what I mean? You get this crispy weather. I quite like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Next question for you, Todd.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh my God, we're gonna dance.
Right. What you hide?
Right.
You drinking something?
Well, I just thought I would get my my tiki glass out and enjoy my beverage in that while I'm talking.
I thought you were kind of putting some alcohol to get a bit drunk before.
Well, I can't, you don't know for sure, right? You never know what somebody's drinking.
Right. Next question is, good one. If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself, and why?
That's tough because, what do you have that to compare to? I can look at my life and go, boy, I wish this would happen differently, or I wish I was more that, or I wish I was skinny, or I wish I was more athletic, or I wish I was younger, and all that kind of stuff. But you're really only given one life at this time. So there's things about myself that I'm proud of, that I think I'm good at. There's things that I think we can all say this, that we're not proud of and that we wish we could change. And sometimes we work on those things and sometimes we overlook them. We all have a very dark side to ourselves. And, would I want to be me? I don't know if I'd want to be anybody, but because life existence is really tough for everyone. We all work really hard at what we do. So I'm okay with who I am and my growth and where I hope to be by the time everything ends here in life.
Right. Other question. When you're saying before that when you make this joke with your guests that you make them stand up just to see what they are wearing, and actually I wish you had power as well to see what you drink, and like I could see go inside and see.
Well, we do a podcast called Thirsty Thursday, and we all drink during it. This is just a Diet Coke, so it's nothing big. I just thought it'd be better to drink out of a tiki glass that looks like Reagan from the Exorcist than drinking out of a Diet Coke bottle. So,
before the next question, tell me, do you believe that talking regarding the paranormal things? Do you believe that children, they're very sensitive regarding that?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We all are. Well, we all were. We saw the things that were around us, and I truly believe my thought process is I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. What I believe is in energy. I think right now around me, right now around you, there are things going on that you and I cannot see, we cannot understand. And that's just kind of the way it is. When you're a kid, you're more open to it because before everybody says there's no boogeyman, there's no such thing as ghosts, nothing's going on, go to bed, just, whatever. You shut that off as a child. And as you grow older, some people reopen that up and have experiences that allow them to be more open to it. Some people keep that closed off and never experience anything in their life again. So children, I really do, and animals too. Animals are extremely open to stuff. That's why sometimes dogs will bark at something that isn't there. Cats will get skittish. If you see a dog, a child, or a cat acting weird, or they tell you something's going on, you can kind of believe it, to be honest.
I just asked this question to you, Todd, because I totally agree 100% with what you just said. I'll tell you something. I think children, they're so sensitive. They think sometimes parents, they don't believe it. They go like, oh, you are dreaming, you're just making up things. And I totally believe that because as me being a child, I remember I had the experience as a child, I even got goosebumps now talking about. As a child, I had some experiences that I was sharing with my parents, and they were kind of supportive at the time. I remember that very well. And but I had experienced like friends or other people around me that they experienced things when they were children, and their parents didn't believe it. They were like, okay, you're just playing, making things up and everything. So I totally agree with you. And regarding animals as well, I totally agree as well. And actually, I could tell a story as well. That's one of the last stories that happened to me regarding animals. But another time we talk about, because it's a long story. But
I think too, and you, not just paranormal, but I think that if we all held on to a little bit more of our childhood, when we were little, when we were kids, we were more open to friendships with people who are different from us because we didn't care. It wasn't about the things you believed in or your religion or your skin color or anything like that. It was simply you were here, I was here, we were going through the same thing in school, and there were connections made. And then over the years, you're taught to treat people differently based on so many different things. So I think in so many ways, not just paranormal, but in life in general, if we could just hang on to that little bit of childhood in us, I think we'd all be better humans and the world would be a better place.
And a sign under this. I totally agree.
Absolutely. Yep.
Next question for you is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
Oh, well, I've got a few people that I would consider best friends. For me, the perfect friendship is lots of laughter, lots of being able to be who you are around them without judgment, support from both sides, obviously, and the ability to not have to be together all the time. I really value my alone time, and I think COVID made that even worse for me. I love working. I work from home. I have a studio at home, so I never have to leave if I don't want to. And to be honest with my friends, during COVID, my best friend I saw like maybe twice. So one of the things that I value in a friendship is I may not see you for a long time, but when we do see each other, we can kind of just catch up and be right back where we were the last time.
Very good. Great. Where is your dog? Your beautiful dog. I see that you have a beautiful dog.
Yes, he's upstairs sleeping. Normally, he'd be sleeping down there. He's got a bed here in my studio that he sleeps in all day, but he's decided he's not ready to come down yet for the day, so he's still upstairs sleeping in bed.
Next question.
All right.
Great. Next question for you is, if you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
I would definitely spend it with my mom. Now that she's gone, you think you know a person your entire life, and then when they're gone, I think you take time to sit back and realize that some of the faults you thought they had were based on their own life and the things that they went through growing up and all that. And I'd take the time to spend with my mom because I work so much. One of my true faults is sometimes I don't make that time for family members and friends like I should. And then when they're gone, I regret that. So I do regret the fact that I didn't spend a little bit more time with my mom before she passed away. So she would definitely be my choice.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
I have 3 questions left for you.
Okay. Do we have to dance on all 3 of them?
Yes, you do. Yes. You know what? I think you are, when you go to club, I think you are the guy who's the dance floor, like dancing.
No.
I'm
the guy sitting. I'm the guy sitting at the bar getting drunk, laughing at everybody. That's who I am.
Okay. Yeah. Next question is, what's the best compliment have you ever received?
I don't do well with them, but the one that always means a lot is if I'm able to, when I deal with people one-on-one, if I'm able to make a connection and they feel it, and it's not just like a facade or a surface kind of connection. If I can help somebody get through whatever they're getting through as an empath, I think people seek me out to help them through whatever they're going through. And the older I get, and the busier I get, sometimes I take less time with those things than I probably should. But I think that when I've been able to connect and help somebody and really make a difference in their life, not by giving them money or giving them gifts or anything like that, but just of time and energy and thoughtfulness, I think that's probably the best compliment I can receive.
Very good. 2 questions left. Look at your face. Let's do it.
All right.
Next question is, what makes you the saddest?
The lack of empathy and compassion that we have for one another. And this is a big thing in America. and around the world. I had the other day I had such a bad day at work, and I was ready to quit, man. I was just ready to go, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm busting my hump and blah, blah, blah. And then a friend of mine from Colombia sent a video of his friend lying on the ground, bleeding to death after he was attacked by police. And I thought, I need to shut up because I'm not dealing with that. But here in America, we've become so divided, and we don't care. All we care about is ourselves. It's me, me, me. What can I do for me? How does what affects you affect me? It's not about how does this affect us as a community? How does this affect us as a human race? How does this affect us as a planet? How does this affect me? Is this gonna be problems for me? Because if it is, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care if it helps my neighbor. It doesn't matter to me if it helps the UK. It doesn't matter to me if it helps Europe. It doesn't matter to me if it helps folks in Africa. All I care about is how this affects my 24-hour day, 7 days a week, 31 days a month. I'm so tired of that. And it's the one thing, and you say saddest, it makes me the maddest. Because while we can all have that you got to look out for yourself, I get that. But when you look out for others, you're also looking out for yourself. So we need to have more compassion in this world. We need to have more empathy for other people. We need to see those stories on the news and think about ourselves in those situations. How would you feel if you walked up and your friend was on the ground dying in a pool of blood because the police, battered them? How would you feel? We just need more of that. That makes me the saddest.
And to be honest to you, Todd, you're saying that, and you said something very interesting, that I believe that when you do, actually people, they should be conscious that when they do some nice or kind thing to people, actually, in the end of the day, they're not doing for them, they're doing for ourselves. If you do something nice to someone or a kind gesture, at the end of the day, you're not doing for the person, but for yourself.
Absolutely.
If people mentalize that, you know what I mean? If they would approach life in a different way, or they would be more kind to people, they would do more generous actions or a generous gesture for other people as well, I believe. If you mentalize that you are doing to yourself, you're not doing to the person itself.
And it's strange to me too that people look at people who are empathetic and who are compassionate to others as weak individuals, and I don't understand that. To me, the strongest person who puts their own needs aside to help someone else. That is true strength. So I wish that we could all see that. I wish we could see clear. And the sad thing about it, you talk about paranormal. I think that when you finally pass away and your energy, I believe your energy goes, I call it splattering, okay? Your energy doesn't stay together. It goes in multiple locations. You could spend time at a favorite location. You could end up in a house. You could end up in another life. I don't know. I don't have that answer. But I do think at the end of the day, your compassion and how you treat others will finally judge where you end up next. Whether you believe in heaven and hell or you believe in reincarnation, all that kind of stuff. So the strongest person who says, I don't have much to eat, but I'm going to share what I do have with someone who has nothing. That's the strongest person in the world.
Again, a sign underneath. Amazing. Yep. Thanks for sharing that.
You bet.
Ready for the last one?
One more, and then I get to ask you a question?
Wait a minute, almost there. You're waiting for the moment yet?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Right, before the last question, I'd like to ask, actually, I could go here another hour with you easily.
I would love to,
easy, because I could go so many topics with you, very interesting topics about paranormal, and I'm quite into it as well. But anyway, I know I'm just conscious about the time that you have, you busy, and anyway, maybe another season 2, William Matchbox season 2, we can talk about it. But I would like to ask something. Can you share, let's say, a moment that, or the first experience you had regarding a paranormal event or something that's the most powerful that you had?
Yeah, and I think when people investigate paranormal, there's so many different aha moments. There's so many firsts. And, you know, the first time you finally have something happen is mind blowing. The first time you see something is mind blowing. The first time you hear something is mind blowing. Because I work primarily in a realm of audio, when I hear something here after the fact that wasn't there when we were investigating, that is pretty powerful to me. But the most powerful thing that happened is we were investigating, and I was investigating with 3 other people. One person was on camera, and there are two ladies that were investigating with me. We had a spirit box, which kind of goes through all the channels in a radio, kind of flips through those very quickly to try and give the energy something to communicate through. And we had a recorder in the other hand. We were just kind of standing there asking questions. And right in front of us, right in the middle of us, audibly, not through the equipment, but audibly, was a growl. I will be honest with you. I mean, we all went, what was that? And the first thing you go is, okay, somebody's stomach growled. You know, you go through all the things that it could be. Was it the speaker? No, it wasn't the speaker. And then it happened a second time. Now, we heard it. The camera guy did not hear it. He thought we were full of you know what. And so when we went back and viewed the video and listened to the audio, there it was. There was an audible growl that happened right in front of us. Nothing was there. There was no entity, nothing. But there was audio from basically thin air. So that, for me, was one of those moments where you're like, holy crap, I just experienced something that a lot of people never get to experience. It was audio, so it was very special to me. This thing growled at us, whatever it was. So that was the time where where you almost have to check your underwear to make sure you didn't, go to the bathroom at that point, because it was pretty intense. But that was the first time that ever happened to me. And that was just one of many aha moments where you go, there is something else. We just don't know what it is.
Good. Last question now.
Oh, all right.
Last question is, what is the happiest day in your life so far and why?
Really? I will say this. The happiest day in my life will be very, very soon. And I'll say it this way. Because my mom is gone, because my dad is in a nursing home, I haven't seen family for a while. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be taking some time off from all of this and spending it with my sisters. And we're going to get together for a few days out in nature and just kind of enjoy ourselves. So I think that's going to be one of the happiest days of my life. I'm looking forward to it.
Easy. Beautiful. Right, let's play now the quick thinking game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind regarding this word.
Okay, all right.
You're okay with time still, yeah?
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're good.
Right, let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
Necessity.
Love.
Embrace.
Life.
Difficult.
Sex.
Woohoo! I think that's 2 words, but I'm going to use it anyway.
All right. Religion.
Concerning.
Politics.
Dreadful.
Fear.
Real.
Friendship.
Wonderful.
Desire.
That one's tough. I'm just going to say fire because it was the first thing that came to mind.
Good. Regret.
Contemplation.
Success.
Pride.
Wish.
Dreams.
Happiness.
Uplifting.
How about if I tell you paranormal events?
Exhilarating.
And the last one now, radio.
Oh, I'll just say communication. And can I say one other thing about that? The reason why I love audio communication, and I do some video communication, all that, but the thing about audio that's great, when you go see a movie or you see a TV show, you are experiencing it for yourself. and you are experiencing it the way you experience it. You see what you see, you internalize it, you work through it, and that's your experience. But you're seeing somebody else's presentation of it. So you've already got part of the presentation. It comes to you, you create your own storyline out of that. With audio, if it's done correctly, everything starts from that beginning, and you have to make up everything. You have to make up all the images, you have to make up all the feelings, you have to make up everything that encompasses that work. And I think, again, because we moved away from audio for a long time to more visual kind of stuff, we've lost the ability to create, be creative, and that all lends into being more empathic, to caring about, we've lost that part of the experience. And so that's why I love audio so much. If it's done really well, you can blow somebody's mind without ever showing them a picture.
Wow, powerful. Let's pretend now we're going to meet your best friends for a cup of tea, and I'm going to ask your best friends, tell me I'm going to ask him just to define you in a positive word and a negative word. What's your best friend would define yourself?
So the best friend who is, I better not say her name because they'll all fight over which one I chose, but I will say, she's going to say humor will be my best, and my worst is cranky. So that would be hers right there.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm crankier than shit.
Let's play now, Toddy and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question.
Okay, so I want to ask you an experience in your life that was eye-opening or life-changing or extremely inspiring or devastating. One moment that changed the path from where you were to where you are now.
I love the question. And the first thing that came to my mind straight away when I was digesting the question you were asking, I'll tell you now, Todd. One of the most powerful moments in my life so far, that I think it was life-changing. Everything, anyway, but the moment when I was 19 years old, I came to Europe on my own. Full of dreams, full of adventure, when you are give a big step in your life. I was back in Brazil, and I never forget the moment when it was my first time on a plane, and I left my family. My mom I remember my mom crying at the airport. I left her, and cut the story because it was quite hard for me to get the money, to get the tickets, a long story anyway. But I never forget the moment when I sat down in the airplane, and I was with a lady who came with me to Portugal when I was living in Portugal. And I never forget the moment when I sat down in the airplane, and I put the seat, and she asked me, William, do you know how to put the seat belt? And I was like, I look at her, and at the moment when I realized that I made it happen, because for me it was really hard, and was really, I put so much energy to get the tickets, to find the money, to buy the tickets. Everything was so, I was so in a rush, I was working hard for that. And the moment when I sat down at an airplane and she asked me that question, I remember the exact moment, because for me I was like, oh yes, I kind of wake up, because until then I couldn't believe that I made it happen. I bought the ticket and I got everything ready to move to Europe when I was 19 years old. And that's the moment where I was like, oh my God, I made it. I'm going. It's happening now.
Right.
So
right.
That's the exactly moment, because until then, I never forget her voice in my ear. Said, "Really, do you know how to put the seatbelt on?" And I look at her, I was like, what? And I kind of wake up. I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm going. It's happening. So yes, thanks for the question. Oh my God, it's amazing. I love it. So that was the moment, like a very powerful moment where was my life changing, I was coming to Europe, and I could go on and on and on, a lot of things about astrology as well. But anyway, so yeah, just to your question, that's the powerful moment of my life that I'll never forget. Something
excellent. I love it.
Sticks to my head. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Except for the dancing. I'm gonna if I ever get a chance to be on again, I'm gonna hire somebody to do my dancing for me.
Oh, you're sweet. Thanks so much. Thanks for taking your time to do the interview with me. I know you're a very busy guy, as you mentioned before. My God, you have so much going on right now with your work, and You just took this time to share this experience with me. I'm very grateful for that. Thanks so much, Todd.
Thanks for inviting me. I had a quote. You had asked me to have a quote that
I was about to ask you that now. If you don't mind to share a quote.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. So one of the things that I'm a huge geek about, everybody has something that they love, and one of the things I love is old game shows. I love old quiz shows. They are my favorite thing in the world. And there was one back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s called Password. And originally it was hosted by a gentleman by the name of Alan Ludden, who was married to Betty White, if anybody knows who Betty White is. At any rate, he would end the show with using a password of the day. And one day he said, the password is open. The hardest thing to open is a closed mind. And that stuck with me because I felt like if we, again, when it comes back to dealing with people and communities and all that, if we go into life with an open mind, you don't have to walk away believing. I say the same thing about paranormal things. I'm not trying to change your mind and make you believe. I just want to show you what we found. You make up your own decision, but have an open mind that what we are living ourselves right now, what we are experiencing, isn't everything out there. So as soon as we open our minds, stop closing them, I think we're going to have kind of a turnaround in the way we live as the human race. So.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Todd,
thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the time, and we keep in touch, okay? Thanks for the interview. I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Okay? Keep in touch.
Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.